The City Council to order. First item on the agenda is legislative prayer, excuse me, and pledge of allegiance.
Thank you, sir. Father, we thank you tonight for the opportunity to pray. Father, we thank you for this administration being open to you and your involvement in the city affairs of Sedalia, Missouri. So, Lord, we lift up our mayor, our city council members, our city administrator, our department heads, our first responders, and all those that serve you through this local government. Lord, you told us to pray for those in authority so that we will live quiet and peaceable lives in all godliness. So we ask today that you would grant these leaders the wisdom, not ordinary human wisdom, but your divine wisdom to discern, to understand, and grant them good judgment to make decisions that affect our city positively. Give them the courage to do what's right and help them lead with honesty, humility, and integrity. We bind up the author of confusion, selfish ambition, division, and corruption. Help these men and women work together for the good of Sedalia and the people that they serve. Surround them with wise counsel and people of character. Father, we ask for the protection over our cities, our city, our families, our businesses, our schools, law enforcement officers, firefighters, emergency response people, and all those that make our community strong and safe. We pray for the citizens of Sedalia. Help us be a people of responsibility, honor, and faith. Teach us to be good neighbors and to love our neighbors as ourselves. So, Father, we thank you for your hand upon Sedalia. We declare your peace, your grace, your wisdom, your protection, and your blessing over this city. Your kingdom come, your will be done in Sedalia, Missouri, as it is in heaven. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Myers, will you call the roll, please?
Robinson.
Yes.
Ames.
Here.
Scribner.
Here.
Bogus.
Here.
Covington.
Here.
Cross.
Yes.
Redford.
Here.
Franklin.
Here.
All in present.
You have a quorum. Next on the agenda, presentation from the Embassy House.
Hello. My name is Jason McLean. I'm the Executive Director of the Embassy. For any of y'all that don't know what the Embassy is, we are a faith-based residential recovery program. We offer an extensive opportunity for men getting out of jail, prison, homelessness, and especially substance use disorder, otherwise known as addiction. We are the advantage to the disadvantaged life, and we cannot thank this city enough for the much needed support that we've received. I'd like to introduce Sean Russell back there. He is a worker at Burrell, and he's getting ready to go to shift. He works night shift over there, getting ready to head there. He went through our program, and his wife is putting together a picture of his, a framed picture of his wanted poster next to his picture with Representative Brad Pollitt in his hat. So that's one of the things that the embassy has the opportunity to do. And there's our board president, Ann Graff. I think, seems like most everybody knows Ann. So. All right, we're going to see if this thing here works or if I can work it. So renovations to the back of 322. We took this picture last week while the snow was still on. So, it didn't dawn on me till I was on my way here that I didn't provide a picture of the before of 322, just kind of assuming that everybody knows my world and what I know. So what you don't know about what you're seeing right there is on the left-hand side, there was used to be a porch there that was rotting and falling down. On the right-hand side, where that new addition is where there was where there is now an entrance down in there. There was an entrance that the cinder block walls was caving in and scissoring in and beginning to cave in. So we were able to get that taken care of and made new again. 602, we were able to get a new roof, new soffit and fascia, and new gutters on this. This house has not had gutters on it for as long as I've known. Therefore, it's had a wet basement that now we can dry up and begin to put to good use. So once we got involved in the renovation of the backside of this house, so did Evergy. So the neat thing is, though, is that you can tell on the left, that's the old service, and it just don't look right. And Evergy agreed, and they gently guided us through what we needed to do to make it right and make it safe. And so now we have a new electrical service. We are thrilled about that. As far as the staff apartment, in my cabinet business, we refer to something like this as a Dr. Seuss house. It is no square corners, no straight anything. Little topsy-turvy, which is fine until we tore out the plaster and lath and the flooring and found some of the worst, most terrifying framing we've ever seen. It's made sense as far as to why it was so topsy-turvy. We hadn't originally planned on doing anything with the framing, but once we got into it, we realized that we didn't have a choice. So you can see some new framing there, and you can see here that we reframed the majority of everything within the interior of this house. So, and as a matter of fact, that one you're seeing right there with the cross pieces, that was supposed to be a load-bearing wall that wasn't framed as such. There was no headers. You can see new headers all the way through there, even in the older walls. But in the load-bearing, should have been load-bearing wall, the contractor had to lift the sag out of the floor 3 inches. So that's how far that was starting to come down. So we now have new plumbing, new wiring, new windows, foam and cellulose insulation, and drywall is up and is currently being mudded this week. That was part of the flooring from the original where you could see how it was tilted way down. So they just had to remove all that flooring and replace all that. So there's a drywall heading up, started to be mudding together. So real quick, before I ask if there's any questions, I want to read something that I got from one of the participants today. He came into our program about 2 years ago, graduated, and he sent me this. I haven't been home since 2022. I've only seen my dad 4 times since 2022, and we would meet in St. Louis or my brother's house. I wasn't allowed home at the house. Me and my stepmom had a bad fight. She hasn't spoken to me until a little over a month ago. Everything is forgiven. She sent me a long message of how much she loves me and how proud of me she is. I cried like a baby. She said I'm allowed to come home and visit at the house, my home. God will restore families. This has been my prayer for the last couple of years. My daddy is 80, she is 71, so tomorrow that prayer will be answered. I'm so excited, I'm in tears of thankfulness, of joy. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Just wanted to share that testimony. I love you, brothers. I'll send lots of pictures. So I thought it was interesting that God sent me that today. Excuse me, that he had sent, I think, yeah, God sent that to me. Definitely. But that he sent that today knowing that I was coming here to share with you guys, you know, what you all are able to partner with as you support this. So, yeah, so any questions?
Do you have like a tour? Was there a tour like set up for that where we can come in and take a look at the embassy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we had one where we opened up to the community Saturday for
Okay.
anyone that wanted to come and do that.
Okay.
But I've put it out there that if anyone wants a tour, a personal tour or a group tour or anything like that,
Okay.
just get a hold of me and we'll set that up because I'm very passionate about what we do and so are a lot of others. And with that, you know, if it wasn't for Ann going over and over and over the fact that I can't stand up here and talk to you all for 3 hours right now, I would. So when you do come for the tour, I'm gonna just blanket the day and
Okay.
and I'll show you everything.
All right, appreciate it.
So
Yeah.
where this comes from? Yeah, well, I don't really know a whole lot about it other than that there was several entities that sued the opioid companies and won. And then with that, there's money allotted to certain states, certain cities and counties and things. And it's basically set aside for what the embassy does in helping people to come out of opioid addiction. So that's where you all have been supporting us in that and being able to repair these homes and give these people a better opportunity to come out of that, because it's hard to teach someone how to clean a house if it's not cleanable. So even then we took a ton of pictures as we've been remodeling and tearing out the cast iron drains. The houses are 100 years old. The cast iron drains were full, so we took all those out. One of them, when we opened up the wall, the joint had been broken long ago. And so it was just luck that was holding it together and allowing anything to actually go through the drain. So some of the old wiring was terrifying that we found that we were able to redo.
Floor in that one, that was.
Oh, man. Yeah. It was, for the longest time, I was embarrassed and ashamed. And at times when we bring guys in, I apologize to them. It's like, we're working on this. Of course, they're coming out of homelessness. And some of them, it's nicer than any house they've ever grown up in. So, they're blessed. But
Was the allotment granted enough to cover all of the rehab you'd hoped for?
no, but we'll come back later and talk about that. I'm thinking maybe hopefully y'all come a tour. We'll show you some things. Even then, as we're working, it's like these houses is just to keep gifts that keep on giving, because as we're going through and repairing this house, it was on the coldest night this last winter that I get a call, hey, our drains aren't working. And I'm like, that's great. And we've been having a little bit of an issue with 602's drain anyway. And it stopped up solid. Well, Roto-Rooter was able to come out and get it kind of working. And then the next day or two, they said it stopped again. So they brought a camera out and found where an old tree had crushed one of the lines. And so that was $5,000, well, we put something out there. Well, it's actually more than that. That was all Roto-Rooter ended up charging us. They gave us some pretty big kickbacks and help on that. But they got out within the next day or two. And then several people in the, like Advanced Fence and Rail, they made a huge donation towards it. There's a few other people that had made some donations to be able to take care of that. But it's like that framing, there was nothing in there for framing because we just figured it's an old house. That's why it's a little wonky. But once we got into it, it was just someone, I don't know. I don't even, how they, those old houses, they say, oh, they don't build them like they used to. And sometimes that's one of the greatest things. But no headers. That's why we took so many pictures, because it's like no one will believe us after we put this back together that it was so bad, But yeah, so what we're doing moving forward is we're future proofing everything, so we don't have any more problems. So, because I want to be focused more on the men than trying to make sure they can flush a toilet, or take a shower or something like that. So, yeah. So yeah, we're over here and there, but like I say, that's another day. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Great. Well, thank you again very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next on the agenda, a presentation from the Vance Brothers.
How's everyone doing?
Good. Thanks, Pastor.
My name's Alec Vance. I am a project manager and estimator with Vance Brothers. We are a pavement preservation contractor and emulsion manufacturer. We manufacture, apply, construct just about anything in the pavement preservation business. Pavement preservation is defined as basically anything that is not milling and filling new asphalt. So with that, let's get into this. So, as you can see by my very small bar graph up there we go. The blue line right there indicates pavement preservation techniques. Different on this one. So this graph right here is kind of a nationally known, nationally utilized graph. So there's applications on here that aren't necessarily real effective in our region, but a handful of them are. You have crack seal, slurry seal, microsurfacing, and cape seal are really, really good in our region. Rejuvenating fog seal is basically vegetable oil and a little bit of asphalt sprayed on a road that softens it up. And in certain climates, it's very good. When it gets real cold though, asphalt gets brittle. You just don't get a whole heck of a lot of it out of here. But what this is demonstrating, this red line right here is what's called the complaint line. And the whole goal is to keep roads above the complaint line, because that's where you start getting phone calls that you have potholes. What are you guys doing with my tax dollars? You're just destroying my road. What's happening?
Right.
So what you want to avoid is what a lot of cities, a lot of counties, a lot of agencies fall into, is this dark gray line where, yep, we're going to rebuild a road and we're going to let it fall. And then 15 years later, we're going to rebuild it again and we're going to let it fall. So down here at the bottom, on the left-hand side, this is based off national averages. This is, I believe, on 100-mile network. So on a 100-mile network, doing the conventional approach costs $205.6 million over the life cycle, the 40-year life cycle of these roads. Doing the same thing with preservation, where you touch the roads a little more often, but you keep them in good shape, $79.6 million. So that is a national average, and it is a massive savings. So the biggest thing that we see with this is there is no best preservation treatment. Preservation treatments are great as long as they're used at the right time. If you use them too late, you're throwing your money away. You might as well just wait and rebuild the road. So touching the road often is the best approach. 2 years after you guys mill and overlay a road, crack seal. 4 years after that, do a chip seal, do a slurry seal, do a microsurfacing. Do something that's going to keep that road good. Keeping good roads good, the right treatment on the right road at the right time, you're going to notice an underlying theme on this. That's what it is. So here are the best preservation treatments for our region. We are, as everyone in this room knows, brutally hot in the summer, brutally cold in the winter, and that makes our roads go in and out, contract, expand, crack, and break, and keeps guys like me in business. So we have crack seal. Crack seal is very simple. Seal the cracks, keep the water out, keeps your road good, keeps it at a state of stasis. Chip seal. Restores skid resistance, also seals some cracks. People tend not to like it in town sometimes, depending on where you're at, because they don't like loose rock, but it's very affordable, and it's a very good product. Microsurfacing. I know you guys are all familiar with that. You guys do your own here. It's a great product. It restores ride quality, keeps some moisture out, and you don't have a whole bunch of loose rock whenever you do it. Cape seal. So Cape seal pairs chip seals and micros. The chip seal acts as a mass crack sealant. That mass crack sealant then is covered up by microsurfacing to restore skid resistance. If you look at the bottom here, I have lifespan, 10 to 12 years on a chip seal or on a Cape seal, and 10 to 12 years on a double micro. These are two different products used for two different situations. You may not be able to tell here, this road is very cracked up. If you have a road that has a lot of cracking, builds a solid base, but your surface is cracking a lot, you want to use a Cape seal. If you have a road that is oxidizing, falling, the top part's raveling apart, you want to use a double microsurfacing. It's going to replace, or it's going to give you much better riding surface. It's going to look a lot like a mill and overlaid road for about half the cost. Every dollar spent on preservation saves $6 to $10 in future rehab costs. When each treatment is appropriate. So right here, we have the treatment ladder. And too often, I or Chris Tompkins is in the back with us as well, we'll get calls when the road's about right here. Like, hey, we got to do something and we don't have any money to do it with. Well, I wish you would have called me 10 years ago. As this demonstrates, the best thing you can do is touch these roads when they're still good. Keep your good roads good. There's a lot of different treatments available. You don't have to spend a heck of a lot of money on these, and it'll go a long, long ways. So as you can see, crack seal, chip seal, micro, double micro. If you can keep it at a 55 PCI, is everyone here familiar with what a PCI is, pavement condition index?
Right.
Yes. So that's kind of the magic numbers that we all live by. So if you can keep it at a 55 and above, you're probably going to be somewhere where you can treat the road. If you let it fall down there to the below 55, it's going to get very expensive for you. So here's what separates good products from bad products. Quality control. Quality control in our line of work is one of the most important things you can do. It is not as simple, whether it's chip seal, spraying oil on the ground and dropping some rock on top of it. If it's micro, mixing some rock up with some oil and spreading it out. You have to have very rigorous quality control, because if you do a bad job one place, you're never going to work there again. No one's ever going to want to spend your tax dollars on that again. So the first thing you have to make sure you're doing is designing your mix for your streets in particular. I'm not going to use the same mix on a microsurfacing, for example, on a KDOT highway that I'm going to use in a Sedalia neighborhood. Different aggregates, different emulsions, different products are made for different things. We have aggregates that can make a road like a cheese grater. I mean, we can have great friction numbers, but man, if a kid falls off a bike, you feel bad for him. We have other ones that are a lot more smooth. We make them for parking lots. We make them for residential streets, where you're going to have great traction numbers, but you're not worried about a kid popping his bicycle tire when he pulls out onto the street. The next thing is calibrated equipment. So you got your mix design made. You know what you're putting out. You have to make sure you're actually getting that out of all your equipment. You have to make sure that, A, you know how much oil you're using, how much rock you're using, how heavy everything's going down. You have to understand what's coming out of this. This is where so many people get in trouble on these projects. They rush out, they put things down, and I don't care what product they're using. They put things down and they don't understand what they're putting down. They don't understand what's going down on their street or how it's going down. So calibrated equipment, whether it's chip seal, crack seal, micro, slurry, whatever, is very, very important. And ISSA standard testing, we're a lab. We have a lab. We design our own things, so we're very fortunate that we can take materials, run them through a variety of tests on every batch we make to make sure that it is going to meet the mix design, it's going to meet everything that our customers are ordering. It's also going to match what we need in the field. And then field verification. Field verification is incredibly important because you may have calibrated equipment, you may have mix designs, but if you're not checking when everything's coming out of that machine to make sure it is what it's supposed to be, you don't know what's going down. So we check, for example, in micro, we check application rates multiple times a day. If we're doing a residential street, we're going to place that material at about 22 to 24 pounds per square yard. So that's awesome. That's a great design. Yeah, that's perfect. But if it's down at 18, it's at 18 pounds per square yard, it's not going to last very long. If it's down at 25 pounds per square yard, 26 pounds per square yard, you're going to end up with other issues. It's going to bleed. It's going to be too thick. It might rut. So constantly checking your field applications, constantly checking rate verification is very important. We also pull material extractions. We'll go up to the back of our machine. We'll take a McDonald's coffee cup, because every project manager in our company has a McDonald's coffee cup in their truck at all times, and so that's our standardized size. McDonald's coffee cup, we will walk up, we will scoop up some of the material coming out of the machine, we will send it back to our lab, and they will cook it off. And what that does is exactly what it sounds like. We put it in an oven, it cooks all the moisture out of it, and it will tell us exactly how much residual asphalt we have in it. A chip seal or a micro, we'll go micro slurry. Micro slurry is going to have 7.5 to 9% residual asphalt, which to a guy like me sounds like a lot. To everybody else, like, Greg, what does that mean? The residual asphalt is what sticks everything together. So if you don't have enough, everything's going to come apart on you. If you have too much, you're going to park a car on it, and that material is going to stick to the tires and drive off with the car. So you have to be within your window, or nothing's going to work. For example, another set of field verification. Inside the state of Missouri, we found out this past spring, right now, or this past winter, right now, there is no limestone material that can be used without blending. We have to buy it from our sources, 2 different aggregates from every source we have right now, and blend it into our trucks. Well, the only reason we found that out is because Chris Tompkins and myself spend most of the winter stopping at quarries, grabbing buckets of rock and testing them repeatedly because we've been bit before. And sometimes you think things are going great, everything's going fine, then you're halfway through a job and you get a call from your superintendent like, hey, this stuff's not laying. Well, that's not fun. So you might get a good sample one time, but you have to keep checking that because had we not, we wouldn't have known that we're going to have to blend everything and we'd be 2 months into a season and have a bunch of jobs we have to redo. So just another example, QA/QC is incredibly important. You have to stay on top of that. So what I want to talk to you guys about today, more than anything, is expanding Sedalia's preservation capacity. You guys have a bunch of resources, and they're all fighting for time. You guys all have a lot of things you have to do: crack sealing, patching, daily maintenance. I mean, the calls you guys get that pop up, hey, we got a pothole over here, you got to do that. Every one of those things is fighting for time. Where we, on the other hand, don't have to deal with all that. We get a phone call and it's, hey, when are you guys going to show up in our town and go work? We have crews that are specialized in a whole bunch of different products. We have equipment that is made for that, and this is what we do. We have dedicated crews that work day in and day out on specific things. Our chip seal guys do chip seal. Our microsurfacing guys do microsurfacing. Our crack seal guys, I don't know how they do it, but they do crack seal day in and day out. God bless them for it. They're tougher men than I am. But we have dedicated crews that do just that. And combining your resources with specialized contracting will increase your capacity a lot. Whether it be micro, whether it be chip seal, whether it be crack seal, whatever it is. No one product is the perfect product to use here. Every road is different. Every road needs a different treatment. And we have a lot of capacity, not just we, the royal we, our industry, have a lot of capacity to do a lot of different things. Why evaluate new options? Three main reasons. To test against your performance now. Is a different product better, going to perform better than what you're currently doing? Is it going to bring a better value for you taxpayers? And then you can sit there and actually watch it uninterrupted by a guy like me walking around telling you how great it is. You can watch the product perform over time. But performance, value, and data are the three best things you guys can have. There's a lot of, we're doing one later this week in Topeka, Kansas. We're doing a demo of 3 different products for them. We've been working with these guys for 10 years, and they came to us and said, hey, we kind of want to see what these 3 do. So later this week, we're doing it. And they're going to watch it for a year, and they might add it to the program, they might not. But evaluating new products is a great thing to do because our industry is always evolving, it's always changing. So what I would like to suggest is a 1-block demonstration by us at our expense of a highly modified microservicing. You guys can pick the block. We will come in. This product on the ladder I showed earlier had the PCI ratings. This one will dip below what a standard microservicing can do. Standard microservicing going to fit somewhere around 70 PCI. This one, we've been testing it and using it down in the low 50s. This material is very, very durable. It is highly polymer modified, which means it bends and flexes really easily. We can change the application rate. We can change the aggregate rate that we use with it, so it can be real thick. It can be real thin. Reflective cracking doesn't come back nearly as quickly, and the friction stays very, very abrasive. Or it doesn't, depending on what we want it to do. We can get great friction out of it. We can have it be more smooth for residential streets. This product is very good. We like using it a lot, and we'd love to let you guys see it and watch it, and just base it on performance, appearance, and public feedback. Those are the 3 things that really matter with this, with anything we do. Performance, appearance, and public feedback. It doesn't work, it doesn't look good, and the public hates it, why do it? So, and then as I put at the bottom, this project is not intended to replace city capabilities. It is intended to evaluate whether additional preservation tools should be considered as part of Sedali's long-term strategy. And our commitment, we, put it simply, our big thing, we want the right treatment on the right road at the right time. We say no to a lot of people. We tell a lot of people no. I'm not going to tell you that there's one good product. And if you show me a street that needs to be mill and overlaid, I'm going to tell you it needs to be mill and overlaid. I want to win your guys' trust. And I want you guys to consider me a resource for what your roads need. I say no to a lot of people. I say yes to a lot of people, but we say no to a lot of people because I would rather be mad at me because I don't do something I know is going to fail, be mad at me because I do something and then it fails. So at the end of the day, we want to preserve more roads. We want to make your dollar go further. Every road fails. The best investment is preserving it before it does. Any questions?
You have a card?
Have a card?
Yeah, good. I'll show you some.
Absolutely.
So you want to do a free, I say free, well, I guess it is, a demonstration, and we picked the worst road, the worst block.
I'd like to have some input on what worst is, but
Okay.
yeah.
Because you might say no.
Yes.
Okay.
This material has a limit. This is not a magic pill, but its limits stretch a lot further than standard microservice.
Okay.
What would cause micro?
It could be the spreader box. It could be the existing road that it's being laid on. Spreader box usually is going to
It
be
was
what,
great.
what's that?
It was graded before.
Great before?
Yeah.
Probably the spreader box. Without seeing it, if I had to guess. Well, we'd hire someone to do that. Yeah. About 5 days. We would put temporary markings or temporary 103 years. It's not, we used to do different products in the city for quite some time. This is perfect. But no, we work with the city of Sedalia. We have a ring here. We're our main office is at the city. We have it. Anything else for me?
That's it.
That should be.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming out.
There's my info if anybody wants it.
Oh,
And
yes.
y'all have a good one.
So next on the agenda, retirement awards and special awards. We have none at this time. And so next on the agenda will be the good and welfare portion.
I have two individuals, Mr. Mayor, that signed up for tonight, one for an agenda item and one for a non-agenda item. For the agenda item, I have Debbie Covington on the previous session minutes.
Debbie Covington, PO Box 965. I just wish we had like one more minute. If we had like 4 minutes, like we could have the time to like express our concerns or feelings, that would be awesome. But I'm going to try to read this quick. Sedalia just experienced rate increases across the board, including trash and the likes of that. With everything going on in the local economy, state economy, and our nation, I'm concerned about rate increases. When rate increases happen, the citizens, we can't ask for grant money or rely on a body to pay our bills. We just have to pay our bills. If we have to cut back to pay our bills, that's what we have to do. And I'm concerned about the rate increases if we take our trash to Warrensburg. Naturally, I have questions. I'll try to spit these out real quick. When is this being covered again in the Public Works Council committee meeting? When will the complete financial analysis supporting this proposal to haul our trash to Warrensburg be released to the public? That was pushed through on the night our new administration was getting sworn in. You guys unanimously pushed through this ordinance to send our trash to Warrensburg. We still don't have numbers. We still have no idea if we're really going to be able to save any money. In fact, that night, Mr. Cross, you were talking about our trash going here locally to GFL and your support of it, and you were hushed in the middle of your support for our trash to continue going to GFL by a councilwoman that's no longer up there. And where are the numbers on this? When is the public going to see the numbers on how we're going to save money? How much money will we save annually? Has council been presented these numbers that I'm talking about? Have you all been presented the numbers? Have you all seen numbers of what we're going to save to take our trash to Warrensburg? Anyhow, also in regards to the ordinance 12255, the anti-free speech ordinance, I'm not going to let it go. Many of you all campaigned. You campaigned on repealing the ordinance, Jack. David, Spencer, you all campaigned on repealing the ordinance. I've been hearing chatter that there has been some, it's been amended in certain ways, like things have been taken out or things have been done to that ordinance. Is that legal? Like, is that mean it's binding? I just ask that somebody put this, whatever you got to do to talk about it and to get it on the agenda, vote on it. Even if it gets voted down, vote on it. Anyhow, yeah, we don't want to see our rates increase, and I really hope that buzzer doesn't go off because that was annoying. Do we have a buzzer? There's a buzzer. Anyways, have a good night. Thank you.
And then the other individual I have, Mr. Mayor, for a non-agenda is Lisa Flores. She wants to talk about the sidewalk project on 3rd Street.
Hi, I'm Lisa Flores. I'm a Sedalia resident.
And I just need your address, ma'am, for the record.
Born here. My address, 1221 West Third.
Thank you very much.
I'm the middle house on the block of Sneed and Park. So I wrote this down so I wouldn't have to be nervous, but I am nervous. Good evening, Mayor Williams and the Sedalia City Council. I'm here to represent myself about not having the sidewalks between Sneed and Park where concrete was poured there are deep ruts all along the sidewalk on both sides, also the entry to the alley. The crew hired by the city, though Mr. Robinson thought it was the state doing the job, started in April. It certainly needs to be finished. I believe once you start something, you finish it before moving on. Folks are asking, what's going on in your block? Only it looks bad. Going east of Park Street, they're moving right along. I am unhappy with the work that's been left behind. I have contacted both of my council people, Jack Robinson and Cheryl Ames, who, by the way, Cheryl is my next door neighbor. Neither one of you have been any help with my concerns, though, however, Mr. Robinson did call me just recently to say he was sorry. It isn't the state doing the job, it is the city. Well, I told him I had done some footwork and calls of my own. Brad A. Baker Construction got the bid. They did not do the sidewalk off of Hancock leading east on 4th Street. And I suggest anyone to drive by and look at it. It is very nicely done. Since Cheryl and Jack have been too busy these last 3 months, and I contacted Mr. Jeremy Bray, City Works City State Department. He did get AT&T to come reduce the redo the cable wires so the 2 areas of the sidewalk could be filled in. It had been and still is dangerous, if you ask me. I do have pictures on my phone if anyone would like to see them. These ruts are deep. Too bad no one goes and checks on work done on a bid. I'm thinking that would be the council people for that. And I still wish somebody would go look. Well, I did have somebody come look. It's not in my ward. I appreciated that. Now I am letting you know by 2 sources that the Brad Baker Construction and Mr. Jeremy Bray that the contract does not include my city block across from our historical Liberty Park. It will not be having curbing. Why? Why is it not included?
That was the only other one I had, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Next on the agenda will be the approval of the previous session minutes for June 1st, 2026. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Do I have any council discussion regarding the minutes for the meeting? Haven't heard none. Motion passes.
You all in favor?
Or all in favor.
Opposed? No, you need to call for an all in favor or opposed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Oh, Clerk Myers, roll call for the standing committees. Or next on the agenda, sorry about that. Approval of the special report, board commissions and committees.
Motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Clerk Myers, roll call on standing committees.
You don't need to, you just go into the various committees, Mayor.
Okay, there we go. Next on the agenda is Finance Administration, Chairwoman Bogus.
Thank you. There's one item for consideration through the Finance Administration Committee tonight. Our Finance Director, Jessica Pyle, will provide the update on the current revenue trends across our tax-based funds.
So I'm looking at the graph, we're looking at the second chart. This is fiscal year to date since the beginning of our fiscal year of April 1st, including receipts from April, May, and then most recently June for sales tax. Specifically looking at the FY27 column, this is what we have received to date this fiscal year. In sales tax, including sales tax, use tax, and marijuana sales tax, we have received fiscal year to date around $5 million. Compared to the prior year, the column to the left, that is $147,000 greater than what we had received this time last year. It's about a 3% increase over the same period in the prior year. And if you remember, we had budgeted a 3% increase, so we are right at budget, just slightly greater, $1,000 greater than what we had budgeted fiscal year to date. The franchise tax in FY27 fiscal year to date, we have received almost $350,000. Compared to the prior year, that's $75,000 more fiscal year to date. And that is higher primarily due to the electric tax collected. Transportation taxes for fiscal year to date, FY27, we have received $217,000. Compared to the column to the left, that's about $20,000 greater so far fiscal year to date. And the primary reason for that is an increase in gasoline tax of 11.2%, an increase in vehicle sales of 1.1%, and an increase in vehicle fees of 9%. Property taxes collected fiscal year to date is around $88,000. That's greater than the same period the prior fiscal year of about $2,000. And the majority of those receipts come in December and January, so this is a small figure to compare. Any questions?
Thank you. That concludes Finance Administration.
Well, next on the agenda, Public Works Chairwoman Franklin.
There are 4 items for consideration through Public Works Committee. The first one, Public Works Department solicited bids for the 21 GI 17 CDBG sidewalk improvement project, which includes sidewalk, curb, and gutter improvements within the project located between East 4th Street and East 6th Street and between South Center Avenue and South Emmett Avenue. 5 bids were received, with Epic Concrete Construction Incorporated submitting the lowest responsive bid in the amount of $614,738. During the bid review process, staff identified that required E-Verify documentation had been omitted from the contractor's original submission. The documentation was subsequently provided and reviewed. The matter was also submitted to Community Development Block Grant representatives for guidance, and CDBG staff indicated that they had no objection to award the contract. The city attorney and staff have reviewed the bid and supporting documentation and determined the contractor meets the requirements of the project specification. The amount is within the approved budget. Staff recommends approval of the contract to Epic Concrete Construction Incorporated in the amount of $614,738.
I call for the reading of Bill number 2026-71. Clerk Myers?
Bill number 2026-71, an ordinance authorizing an agreement for the CDBG sidewalk improvement project.
Second reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill number 2026-71. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Bill number 2026-71, an ordinance authorizing an agreement for the CDBG sidewalk improvement project.
Final passage.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the final reading of the final passage of Bill number 2026-71. Is there any discussion? Motion passes.
Need roll call. Mr.
Oh, roll
Mayor.
call, please.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross, Redford,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
All in favor.
Motion passes, or bill passes. I call for the reading of Resolution 2170. Do I have go, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. The Missouri Department of Conservation offers tree resource improvement and maintenance (TRIM) grants to assist communities with urban forestry projects. Staff is requesting authorization to submit a TRIM grant application in the amount of $25,700. If awarded, grant funds would be used to remove ash trees impacted by the emerald ash borer, provide public education materials, and support the planting and replacement of trees to help maintain and expand Sedalia's urban forest. Approval of this item authorizes staff to submit the grant application for consideration by the Missouri Department of Conservation.
Do I have a motion and a second for a call for the resolution?
Resolution 2170, a resolution authorizing an application by the city of Sedalia, Missouri for a tree resource improvement and maintenance TRIM grant to the Missouri Department of Conservation to continue to grow the city's urban forest.
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second for the approval of Resolution 2170. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Roll call on standing committees? Oh. And I have a approval of Resolution 2170. We already did that.
Go ahead, Michelle.
All right, next up, the Grand Avenue Water Main Replacement Project was awarded in fiscal year 2026 and was originally anticipated to be completed during fiscal year. During construction, the contractor encountered existing water system components that differed from historical records and design information. As a result, additional time was required to identify compatible materials and obtain the necessary parts to complete the work. Change order number 1 serves as the final change order for the project and reconciles the contract quantities with the actual quantities installed during the construction. The change order increases the contract amount by $11,775.05, bringing the final contract amount from $925,877.34 to $937,652.39. The change order also extends the contract completion date from April 1st, 2026 to May 11th, 2026. Despite the additional work and time required to address unforeseen field conditions, the final project cost remains below the engineer's estimate. Staff recommends approval of change order number 1 and associated contract time extension.
I call for the reading of Bill number 2026-72. Clerk Myers.
Bill number 2026-72, an ordinance authorizing change order number 1 for Grand Avenue Water Main Replacement.
Second reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the second reading of Bill number 2026-72. Is there any council discussion? Haven't heard none. All in favor? Any opposed?
Bill number 2026-72, an ordinance authorizing change order number 1 for Grand Avenue Water Main Replacement.
Final passage.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for final passage of Bill number 2026-72. Are there any further discussion? All in favor?
Need a roll call.
Oh, roll call.
Roll call. Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
All in favor.
Bill passes.
And the final item, HDR Engineering has submitted a no-cost change order to task order number 3 for the Washington Avenue Bridge Rehabilitation Project. The change order extends the contract completion date to September 30th, 2026 to allow HDR to continue providing engineering support and construction inspection services through project completion. The change order also adds ultrasonic non-destructive testing of all 28 bridge truss pins. These pins were installed during the bridge rehabilitation completed in 1988, and available records do not indicate that they have been tested since that time. The testing will establish a baseline assessment for the pin's condition and help identify any internal wear and defects that cannot be detected through a visual inspection alone. Throughout construction, additional corrosion and deterioration were discovered that exceeded the original anticipated. As a result, staff believe it is prudent to take this opportunity to further evaluate other critical bridge components and verify their condition before the bridge is reopened to traffic. The additional testing is intended to provide confidence that the bridge is safe, structurally sound, and capable of serving the community for years to come. The additional testing and associated engineering service will be completed at no additional cost to the city. Staff does not anticipate the testing will delay reopening of the bridge, but believe it will provide valuable information regarding long-term condition of this important transportation asset.
Well, I actually have a question on this particular subject. Is it possible that we can have a monthly update on this bridge so they can tell us if there's any other foreseeable or unforeseeable incidents that might occur?
So the work is complete. They finished it Friday night, the last of the painting. So we are scheduling the final bridge inspection. What with this change order is allows us for HDR to continue those inspection services during this time because their contract is expired. The bridge pin inspection, there is kind of two choices that we have with it. If we can get it scheduled very soon, it will go with the final completion inspection. If not, we have the choice of opening the bridge and then closing it, for example, for a day for them to inspect the pins. Why they do that. The pins, when we found out that they weren't inspected or anything had been done with them since 1988, we thought it would be the best time to do it. But it is not anticipated that they're a problem. It's just a bringing the bridge up to a modern and current standard of inspections. But we are trying, Jeremy has been talking to him today about getting the final inspections completed. And we also have to arrange for flagging for the railroad. So we have to coordinate with them. But this change order that we had done previously allowed the contractor to finish here in June, and it looks like he should be able to have it open. And the inspection, this pin inspection, is more of a planning for the future and making sure that we can get this bridge up to good standards, keep it at good standards, and set a line that staff and MoDOT and our engineering company know in a sense, the status of the bones of the bridge, if that makes sense. So,
would he be able to present a presentation by the next council meeting to kind of explain this in clarity? So, the public knows exactly what's going on with the status of the bridge?
Sure. If my hope is that it's open by the next council meeting, though.
But if it's not, would it be possible for the?
Yes,
Okay.
we can. Sure.
Thank you. I'll call for the reading of bill number 2026-73. Clerk Myers.
Bill number 2026-73, an ordinance authorizing change order number 3 for Washington Avenue over Union Pacific Railroad Bridge Rehabilitation Project.
Second reading.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the second reading of bill number 2026-73. Is there any discussion?
I would like to have HDR to tell us exactly what day they're ready to open that bridge up. I understand that they want to continue inspecting different areas of the bridge that have not been touched and inspected since 1988. However, I think we've waited long enough. The community has gone long enough. We need to know exactly when that bridge will be opened up to where we can use it.
I completely agree.
Will do.
Plus, you said that throughout the construction, there's been additional corrosion. So if it's complete,
Additional.
additional.
Well, once they removed the plates, they found the additional corrosion. It's nothing that you can see just by looking at it.
As they were doing the work, that they would take off the mending or some sort of structural plating. They would take that off and they would find corrosion behind it. And so then it would take additional time to fix it. And then when they were doing the sandblasting, so once all the metal work was done, we had it sandblasted to put a new coat of paint on it so that it wouldn't corrode anymore. And when they were sandblasting, they were afraid that they were going to find additional corrosion because they had found so much when they had removed these plates. And we were very fortunate. There was nothing major that was found during that time.
What was you saying? I'm sorry, what was you saying?
I was saying that you can't tell, we can't say there's going to be unforeseen. when you don't.
No, I'm just reading off what was on here. Additional corrosion, it says it on your thing. So I just want to know
They
about that
removed the
corrosion.
plates and they found that additional corrosion. That was.
But this is ongoing, so that bridge should have been already opened in, if that was the case. See, this is the problem, this is the problem I'm having. Since we want to go there, we'll go there. This bridge should have been already done, or if not, torn down and rebuilding in the same spot. You're finding corrosion, it's rusted. I've been there, what was it, a year ago? And we're still having a problem, we're still having a conversation about the bridge. And we shouldn't be, it should be already done.
We were fighting MoDOT and the railroad.
I'm aware of all that.
Well, the railroad.
That was.
I'm aware of all that.
Some-
But somewhere along the line, we shouldn't still be talking about the bridge. It should have been already complete. So somebody's not communicating right or something, because we shouldn't be still talking about the bridge. People are tired about us talking about the bridge.
I
It should be done.
understand that.
This is the only thing I'm talking about.
Well, and that's why I said that if the bridge is not done by the given time, could they give us a presentation to tell us all of the issues that we were having? So we'll get there when we get there.
So the
Okay?
bridge is complete. They're done. Other than some inspection, the bridge is complete.
The driving portion and structural portion of it the work is complete.
Okay.
We need to look at the walkway and we'll look at that.
I don't know if you've ever dealt with MoDOT.
Have I ever dealt with MoDOT? Ma'am, I've dealt with MoDOT. I've dealt with IDOT. Is there anything else you want? I mean, I don't know why you want to challenge me like that. I'm just saying, I've
I'm
dealt
just
with the
asking
states
you if
before.
you have.
I'm just saying to you, huh?
Yes,
We're-
yes.
we're-
Let's
we've gone-
let's
Yeah,
get back.
yeah,
okay.
I'm just saying.
So do I have a motion and a second for the final passage?
We still need to read for final passage, Mayor.
Yeah, I'm asking for a motion and a second for the final, a reading for the second passage.
I'm reading for the second time.
Oh,
Yeah.
second, for the second.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Bill number 2026-73, an ordinance authorizing change order number 3 for Washington Avenue over Union Pacific Railroad Bridge Rehabilitation Project.
Final passage?
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the final passage of bill number 2026-73. Is there any council discussion? Clerk Meyer, roll call, please.
August,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner.
Yes.
All in favor, Mr. Mayor.
Bill passes. Next on the agenda, public safety, Chairman Robinson. Any report? No report? Okay. Next on the agenda, community development, Chairwoman Ames.
The proposed Eagle Ridge View final plat will create 5 development lots within the existing Eagle View Ridge development area. The property is currently zoned M2, which is a heavy industrial, and no zoning changes are being requested or considered as part of this application. The property will remain zoned M2 and is consistent with the surrounding commercial, industrial, and undeveloped properties in the area. Approval of the final plat will allow the lots to be developed in accordance with the existing zoning and the city's comprehensive plan. The final plat and associated lot line adjustments will have no adverse impact on surrounding properties. It will expand the availability of build-ready commercial and industrial development sites within the community. The Planning and Zoning reviewed the request at its June 3rd, 2026 meeting, and we recommended approval of the final plat.
I call for the reading of bill number 2026-74. Clerk Myers.
Bill number 2026-74, an ordinance approving the final plat for Eagle View Ridge in addition to the city of Sedalia, Pettis County, Missouri.
Motion for second reading?
Second.
I got a motion and a second for the second reading of bill number 2026-74. Is there any discussion? Haven't heard none? All in favor?
Bill number 2026-74, An ordinance approving the final plat for Eagle View Ridge in addition to the city of Sedalia, Pettis County, Missouri.
Final passage?
Second.
I got a second and a motion for the final, or a motion and a second for the final reading of bill number 2026-74. Is there any council discussion? Roll call, please.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
All in favor.
Motion passes. Our bill passes. Next on the agenda, other business. We have none? Oh, presentation?
Good evening. I am presenting a proposal for incentive for affordable housing. It's kind of more of an outline for council to take into consideration and potentially look into in the future for affordable housing. The city of Sedalia faces a need for affordable housing for its local families and residents. Many citizens cannot afford traditional home prices or qualify for large mortgage payments. Because of this, the city should focus incentives on truly affordable homes instead of intended for long-term stability and ownership opportunities. While the building department and/or community development cannot provide direct funding for housing projects, we can help encourage affordable residential construction by reducing permit fees for qualifying developments. I have provided a basic outline or potential program to be implemented by City Council. The building department would offer reduced permit fees for qualifying residential construction projects that meet all of the following requirements. The home must be located within the 353 redevelopment corporation area. The total construction value of the home may not exceed $175,000. The home must be intended for affordable housing purposes, including lease-to-own or long-term affordable rental programs designed to transition occupants towards eventual home ownership. Qualified projects will receive a 50% reduction in building department fees with a maximum reduction of $3,000 per single-family home. Permit fee reductions would apply only to building department permit fees and would not include city of utility connection fees, Missouri state fees, or any outside agency costs. This program's intention is to encourage construction of modest, practical homes for low-income and working-class residents, support neighborhood improvement within the 353 redevelopment area, help reduce financial barriers for contractors willing to invest in affordable housing projects, and encourage pathways towards long-term homeownership for residents who may not currently qualify for traditional financing. Why the $175,000 limit? Homes above this amount are generally no longer considered affordable for single families in Sedalia, Pettis County, and mid-Missouri. Setting a lower construction value limit helps ensure city incentives are focused on housing that is truly attainable for residents most in need. The goal of this program is not to subsidize higher-end development, but instead encourage simple, safe, and durable housing that gives residents an opportunity to build financial stability over time. In conclusion, the building department's responsibility is not only to enforce codes, but also support safe neighborhoods, responsible development, and long-term community improvement. This outline offers a practical and limited incentive that can encourage affordable housing investment in targeted redevelopment areas while protecting the interest of the city and its taxpayers. I welcome any discussion or direction from the mayor, council, or administration regarding this outline. I also had put in the packet was a permit fee-based reduction outline, kind of breaking down what that would look like on a $175,000 permit evaluation, so construction valuation. The building permit itself would be $1,094. With a 50% reduction as proposed, that permit would become $547. The average electrical permit valuation for new construction is $10,000 with a permit cost of $92. The plumbing is $12,000 with a permit cost of $116. Mechanical, $15,000 with a permit cost of $134. For a total new construction residential house of $175,000 valuation, the permit fees come to $1,436. For the affordable housing area, the 353 in the outline proposed, that permit fee would be $718. So in total, a reduction in permit fee revenue at $718 on average per affordable home that is constructed. So on 10 houses, the city would see a reduction of about $7,000 in permit fee obtained, I guess. I didn't put that last word in there, so. Does anybody have any questions?
So in a $167,000 house, you're talking about under $100 or $800 for all of your contracting fees, like your permits and everything all included?
Yep, for 175,000. So for the max limit of an affordable house under this outline, the permit fee reduction would be $718. So that would be their total all-in cost for all the permits. That includes inspections, plan review, C of Os, everything.
Yeah, okay.
Anything else?
Appreciate the work that you've done on that. I believe that it will help the families or entities that plan to build or would like to build. It will certainly assist them in getting things done.
Absolutely.
And it'll bridge that gap for contractors who said they have struggled in the past as far as permits and time frame and stuff.
Yeah.
Can we also shorten the time from the inspector point of view towards project start and beginning?
What do you mean ensure the time?
So like when they ask for a final approval of the inspections or whatever the permits might consist of, can we speed that process along as well as
Yeah.
reducing that cost too?
Yeah, so we have a 10-day turnaround on plan review, which is significantly faster than any other jurisdiction in the state of Missouri. Most of them are 30 days to 60 days. So ours is 10 days, 2 weeks. And then as for the inspections themselves, we do same-day inspections. So if you call for a final inspection on a residential single-family home, if you call before 8:30 in the morning, we'll come out that day and finish up any outlying inspections you have.
So within 10 days, they can start to build, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So we'll have, if you turn in your plan set on Monday, by the following Monday, I'll usually have an answer. If I don't, at most, it would be 2 weeks, 10 business days. And then you could get permits and begin constructing. So
Nicely done.
it's pretty quick. Thank you.
Is that something that you would like to direct staff to bring back as an ordinance?
I make a motion that you bring that back to the council as an ordinance so that we have it put in place.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? All right. So next on the agenda is other business. We have none. Any miscellaneous?
So we have one renewal liquor license tonight,
Okay,
Mayor.
renewal. Okay.
Renewal for Li Ping Chen, doing business as Joy Hibachi Incorporated, 1975 West Broadway, for liquor by the drink and Sunday sales.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. So any miscellaneous from the mayor, council, administrator?
This coming Saturday, I'm sorry, I've been gone for a few days. This coming Saturday, the NAACP will be having Juneteenth at Hubbard Park, starting at noon. We invite the community to come and join in.
Any other miscellaneous? Do I have a motion and second to go to closed door?
Motion to move into second door, into closed door meeting upstairs in the conference room pursuant to subsections 1, 2, 3, 12, and 13 of section 610.021 RSMO.
Roll call, please.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus,
Yes.
Covington,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Redford,
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
All in favor?
Meeting adjourned.
And those are done for you.
So we just going to roll call? In adjourn? Clerk Myers, roll call.
No, we need a motion and a second
Oh,
to reopen.
second.
Motion to open?
Second.
Roll call?
Robinson?
Yes.
Ames?
Here.
Scribner? Bogus?
Here.
Covington?
Yes.
Cross is absent. Redford?
Yes.
Franklin?
Yes.
Motion to close?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.